Hello folks, it's your buddy Mike Messier. This is a review of Titanic, the 25th anniversary re-release in 4K, HD, 3D, all the good stuff. If you're new here, well, this is because it's a brand new channel. This is a Mike Messier YouTube channel. Where we're on right now is a Mike Messier YouTube channel. Kind of a spin-off of the old Subscribe to Mike Messier YouTube channel. And that has been rebranded as a pro wrestling fan, and also a man and a camera films will be my third channel. So I've branched out on this channel. It's basically me and you, a very intimate relationship between me and whoever's watching these videos. To make you feel like you've got a friend in Mike Messier who has a pimple on his nose. Okay, so let's talk about this movie. When Titanic first came out, I had a bad Titanic experience. I went to see the movie with the young lady. She was very into Leonardo DiCaprio. She was a friend of mine, and she got all gussied up. She got all dressed up to see the movie Titanic. We went to see this thing on the opening day, not only of the movie, but also the movie theater, the actual theater that we went to, which, in case you're wondering, in case you're taking notes at home for my biography, it was the Seekonk, Massachusetts route, the new one, this Seekonk Cinema, which I think is the last one standing. Basically, this town of Seekonk had one movie theater for years, and then they added a second one, and now the second one still exists, I believe, and the old one is gone. It's now a car dealership. But in any event, this day, whatever year it was, 97, 98, we went to see Titanic, and this girl got all gussied up a little bit. Her name was Sarah. She got all glammed up for this thing to see this movie. And I knew it wasn't on my account, unfortunately. So I said, hey, why are you getting so dressed up? And she said, what do you mean? I said, well, you normally don't put on so much makeup and dress up like this. What's the deal? And she said, well, we're going to see Leo. And I said, well, he's not going to be there. He's not going to make a special appearance in Seekonk, Massachusetts. He has been captured on film. I'm trying to explain to her how a film works. And she's like, no, it's like when people get dressed up on Sunday to go see God in church. That was her comparison. So, that's what I was dealing with these people at the time. A young man coming up in my own right and dealing with these starstruck females who think they're all going to fucking wake up in 10 years with DiCaprio next to them. So that's the shadow of me and my generation of young men. And we're still walking in these goddamn shadows. But DiCaprio's a good actor. I've always liked his stuff, going back to the Basketball Diaries and so forth. In fact, his performance in What's Eating Gilbert Grape was one of my studying techniques for my performance as Eugene in the film Hard Luck. Yes, when I played Sybil Shepherd's son. So moving forth, when we saw that movie way back when, what disturbed me was there was some talking asshole people in the theater, human beings who were talking throughout the film. Spoilers, if you haven't seen Titanic at some point in your life and you're watching this review, go see the 25th anniversary, because now I have to tell you some things about the movie, because how else can I fucking talk about it? So at the end of the movie, when Jack is basically, dead, and the beautiful Kate Winslet is talking to him, Jack, the boat's here. Jack, the boat. And the DiCaprio or whatever, Jack Dawson is frozen like a fucking ice cube. The fucking assholes in the theater near us, like behind us, of course. That's always the worst place to have people talking, is like behind you, because then you gotta twist your neck to give them the fucking evil eye. And one of these fucks said, Jack's dead, and it's just like, you're in Massachusetts and you're dealing with fucking idiots. That's, how else can I say it? You know what I mean? So, moving forth, then on top of that, I remember the next year, whenever this movie, I guess, my life is progressing, and there's this other woman, Maria, And she was all finger banging herself about DiCaprio for years on end too, living in the fantasy world that DiCaprio is going to come out of the movie theater screen and sweep her off her fucking Italian feet in the middle of Rhode Island. Well, that never happened, now did it, Maria? But we're watching this goddamn movie. Actually, I would never watch the movie with her. I just listened to her talk about it all the fucking time. She had to get the DVD. When that came out, she had to have the fucking two-set VHS set, whatever the fuck. I mean, everything was DiCaprio, DiCaprio, DiCaprio. So, am I painting a portrait for you? Okay? Am I painting a portrait of the suffering that I experienced because of this movie at the time? I think I am. So I've always had this kind of, not a grudge against Titanic, but I was one of those fucks that was like, that movie's not that good. And I always knew that my initial experience was ruined by the talking assholes in Massachusetts in the theater the night that I first saw it, because they were like trying to watch the Muppets with those two old fucks in the balcony. You know what I mean? So I never really fully got Titanic. Now, I did become a fan of Kate Winslet. I don't think I ever saw her before Titanic. And then I went to see Holy Smoke. You may not remember that one. It was her and Harvey Keitel. Very interesting movie. And then another one, and another one, and another one. So I became like kind of a Kate Winslet mark. I never did see The Reader. I should probably see that one at some point. One of the 1,000 things I should see, do, or listen to before I'm dead. But then you see my painting. I've been painting lately. That's paint. That's a painterman's paint. So I'm watching this fucking movie tonight, 3D. I was surprised that the audience, that people came out for this thing. I mean, it was actually an audience that I would not expect. Some younger people, some, shall we say, urban people came to see the movie, but they seemed to enjoy it. Everyone stayed in their seats. I mean, there was very few talkbacks to the screen, very few bathroom breaks among the crowd. I did my fucking good deed. As I'm walking into the theater tonight, I see a little black wallet on the ground, and I'm like, oh shit. Because then I get kind of flustered. Like, if I pick this thing up and try to bring it back to the fucking counter or whatever the fuck, are they going to think that I fucking took it? But I just picked it up. I opened it. I saw the image of someone on the driver's license. I went into the theater holding the wallet outside of my person. I wasn't putting it in my pocket or anything. I mean, I didn't ask for this. And I see someone who vaguely resembled the image in the photo. And I said, hey, did you drop a wallet? And, oh, yes. And so they sold it well enough for me to assume that it was all on the up and up. And then I did kind of a CAT scan of the theater, and it, that was the only person that it could have belonged to, really. So I'm a great guy. I was kind of sitting there waiting for this person to surprise me with a box of Raisinets or a soda or some such item, or maybe a hot pizza, but they never did. So whatever the fuck. But moving forth, this movie is very interesting because beyond the whole love story, beyond the whole Titanic story itself, is also a B or a C storyline. And I'm getting more into James Cameron these days, and I'm appreciating him for his epic film nature. The caste system of the haves and the have-nots. And, it's kind of Jack is from the poor side of the tracks, but yet Rose loves him anyway, and she fucks him. And then she's 16 years old in this thing. That's another thing that became apparent, at least by my math. Rose is 100 years old, like the old Rose, the survivor Rose that sees all these scientists and fucking NASA people on the Titanic thing in modern times, which I guess would be 97 according to this thing, or whatever the fuck. But she's 100 years old. So she's like 16. So Winslet, who was probably, I'm guessing 21, 22 at the time this movie was made. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she was a little younger, but she's playing a 16-year-old girl. We don't really get Jack's age. Billy Zane, we don't know. He's the bad guy. We don't know what his age is supposed to be. But at that time, these rich guys, they would have brides 15, 20 years younger than them. You didn't have to be George Clooney or whoever the fuck else to do that. So this rich guy's got this young child bride, but of course she's more into Jack. And there was this moment, and I did like the film, by the way. There's a moment late in the movie, and I thought the 3D, it's interesting. You take this movie that's 25 years old and you reboot it and revamp it, and now you make it 3D. It's not like, it wasn't the most, what's the word I'm looking for? It wasn't the greatest use of 3D, but it wasn't bad. It was good. It just wasn't great. But I mean, I give it a pass because what can you do? The movie's 25 years old. How much can you restore or revamp or reboot this thing to a 3D movie? But I definitely enjoyed this experience more than the first time I saw it. No offense to Sarah, but those talking assahole choose-its fucks, massholes we call them, they ruined it for us. And what else? I mean, there's a moment when Kate Winslet's character's in the boat. She's going, she's finally agreeing to be rescued for a minute. And she looks up and she sees Billy Zane, the bad guy, who she's engaged to, in theory, and the man she just had sex with, deflowering most likely, Jack Dawson. They're standing next to each other. And I'm like, I know that a man made this fucking movie, but it's kind of, he did a good job of like capturing a young woman's fantasy. You want the handsome, great-looking guy who's fucking rich as fuck, who you're supposed to marry, and you want the poor working man's artist fuck who's just, a tinge better looking and 10 years younger or whatever it is. And you want these two guys to fight over you like you're the only fucking woman in the world. I mean, that's pretty much a woman's fantasy. And you can see my hatred now, because when I'm dealing with these women at the time that are finger banging themselves over DiCaprio, that's kind of like, you know what I mean? That's what you're dealing with. But it's like, okay, I get it. And of course, fucking Rose is so goddamned moralistic. She's abandoning her mother, all because of some cock she just got fucked by. You know what I mean? Pardon my French, but I'm French. To hell with her mother. To hell with this Billy Zane fuck who's trying to, buy her all these nice things, the heart of the ocean or whatever the fuck necklace it is. She wants to be painted like one of Jack's French girls. You know what I mean? So, what the fuck? This is why men are so sick of American women, because they're living in these goddamn fantasy tales, and what the fuck? But it's a good movie. I mean, I'm torn. I'm torn like Rip Torn. I'm torn like Natalie Imbruglia in 1998. I just don't know what to say anymore. But the movie's good. It's also nice to see Kathy Bates, a heavy hitter of an actress. I'm trying to remember. I don't know who the woman is that played Winslet's mom, but she's been in a lot of stuff. She's good. Billy Zane, too bad we don't see more of him. I mean, he was a dashing young 30-year-old man or whatever the fuck he was. I mean, but whatever happened to him. And DiCaprio, I mean, he stayed strong. Kate stayed strong. Who else is in this thing? I did get so much more out of the movie this time than last time, all those years ago. The captain going down with the ship. I guess it's the guy who's like, I don't know if he was like the guy who financed the thing or whose idea it was, but the guy that wouldn't allow for like more rowboats or rescue boats or whatever. The rich guy that was kind of like, he had a lot of guilt because people are basically dying because of him. What did they say? 700 people survived this thing, or 706, and 22. So I guess like 1,500 people died. And it, the band going down with the fucking ship. It's an honor to play with you, gentlemen. Holy shit. What a fucking movie this is. What a movie. So I do appreciate this movie. I don't know if there was any like additional scenes per se. I don't know if Cameron slipped in a few more minutes or whatnot. I wouldn't be surprised if he did. Things really did make a lot more sense to me this time. I did enjoy the movie more this time than all those years ago, like I said. It really does make a difference when you see a movie in a nice, quiet environment with good people that are willing to give you back your wallet like I am. Everybody's nice, non-fucking masshole Cheez-Its or whatever the fuck. So I enjoy the goddamn movie. Like I said, folks, in case you've gotten this far, I can share with you that, yes, this is one of my 2 new YouTube channels. This one's called a Mike Messier YouTube channel. I'll be bringing over some of the old videos, some stuff that you should be watching already. A Word I Hate is a wonderful series. Life Lessons with Mikey Messier. Anything that's direct to camera, me and you, in this intimate, no-holds-barred setting, that'll be right here on this channel. So subscribe and hit the alarm. And while you're at it, make sure you're still subscribed to the newly titled A Pro Wrestling Fan. That's the name of the channel, A Pro Wrestling Fan. A Man and a Camera Films is where all my dignified works are. And this is going to be the channel where we let it fly. There's going to be swearing. There's going to be abusive language. There's going to be raw thoughts. There's going to be things that you could hashtag me into oblivion for. You could cancel culture my ass into oblivion. Please do. Because it just fucking share all the videos and say what an asshole fuck this guy is. And blah, blah, blah. But as far as Titanic goes, great movie. I enjoyed it. You enjoyed it. Kate Winslet, Kathy Bates, Leonardo DiCaprio, Billy Zane, and all the rest here on Titanic Isle. What a movie. Oh, just so many things. Like, it's so sad. They see the little girl dying, and then, like, the pregnant girl, falling to her death. I mean, it did have more emotions for me, because it's like, and I guess the big thing with this movie is people are always like, hey, why didn't, Rose share the fucking raft with DiCaprio, with Jack? Well, it's like a hunk of wood. So now I kind of get it. Like, it wouldn't fit both of them. I guess, Jack couldn't find his own hunk of wood. And what else? Yeah, like the dancing and like the fuck, like I said, the Frankio guy, what's his name? The Frankio or whatever the fuck, like, Jack's friend, like Jack actually kind of has a moment with him where they're doing the King of the World shit. And I forgot, like, it's a little, homoerotic, to be honest with you. Like, Jack and the other guy are doing that King of the World on the bow of the boat before Winslet gets her turn. But, you definitely feel envious of DiCaprio in this fucking movie. Somebody just bid on something on my eBay store. The Foreign Object, by the way. Someone just put a bid in. Thank you. Buy some stuff from me. God. The Foreign Object. Buy my books. Go to MikeMessier.com. Buy all my books. Watch all my movies. Watch all my videos. Do as you're told. So yeah, everything was great. So, I mean, the caste system, the child, everyone's rescuing women and children first. So I enjoyed it. I mean, that's it. So, new YouTube channel, a Mike Messier YouTube channel, and this is Mike's instant movie review of Titanic 25. Have a good weekend.